Hi, there's another one on the ad hominem fallacy. Um, Fair use, educational purposes. Well, like I said, like I've always saying, that only applies to the person. I'm not a person or a man. I'm an individual. Ad hominem, how people use personal attacks to win arguments. An ad hominem argument is an argument that attacks an individual directly, instead of addressing the point that they are trying to make. This rhetorical technique is frequently used in discussions on various topics, so it's important to understand it. In the following article you will learn more about ad hominem arguments, so see what types of them exist and understand what you can do in order to counter them successfully. What is an ad hominem argument? An ad hominem argument, argumentum ad hominem, is an argument that attacks an individual or a group directly, instead of addressing the point that they are trying to make. An example of an ad hominem argument is the following. Alice, I think that we should reconsider the way that we distribute the federal budget. More politics bullshit. Bob, I think that you shouldn't talk about the federal budget since you clearly have no idea what you are talking about. In this example, Bob simply dismisses Alice's claim with a personal insult, instead of discussing what she said or presenting a valid stance of his own. Accordingly, ad hominem arguments are a type of an informal logical fallacy, meaning that there is an issue with their premise that renders them unsound from a logical perspective. Specifically, the issue with ad hominem arguments is that they are based on the faulty premise that an attack against the source of an opposing argument constitutes as a valid attack against the opposing argument itself. As such, ad hominem arguments are categorized as a subtype of the fallacy of irrelevance, since they contain information that is not directly relevant to the discussion at hand. More specifically, ad hominem arguments are a subtype of the genetic fallacy, since the individual using them is arguing against a certain stance in an indirect manner by attacking its source. Note that in some cases, arguments against a source of information can be relevant to the discussion, as long as they are relevant, and as long as the individual who's using them explains why they are relevant. The use of such arguments isn't logically fallacious. As such, an argument directed at an individual becomes a fallacious ad hominem attack only when it is not directly relevant to the discussion at hand, and when the individual who's using it fails to demonstrate why it's relevant. In the next section you will learn about the various types of ad hominem arguments. Then you will learn the basic techniques that you can use to counter and defeat this sort of arguments. And I should say these sort of arguments. We'll leave that one now. Next one will be types of ad hominem arguments. Thank you.